Hello everyone, Pythonic back with you again today. Filling in solo while Gray Fox is away.
Checking now. All done.
So we're doing a little bit more house cleaning in the tower, as is usual. Unfortunately, with the new quest system, this is a bit more necessary to show off than I would have liked. In Destiny 1.0, before the Taken King came out, visits to the tower were fairly few between, but now with the quests, it's pretty necessary to go back here if you want to get the full amount of experience. So this quest down here, I may have mentioned it before, I'm not quite sure, but that's a Crucible quest, and we will be dealing with that later when we're good and ready for it.
Checking for a bit. Yes? Updating logs. Exchange complete.
Now I know I have mentioned that before, but bounties are a good way to improve your experience gain while you're leveling, as each one you complete gives you experience, reputation with the Vanguard, and currency. That's the word I'm thinking of. So it's always a good idea to come back to the tower and check out the bounties, even though I haven't been on this character.
Fear so little. You are a true weapon of light.
So there are actually little story fluff bits now every time you come back to talk to these guys. So I'm going to try and leave these up as long as I can without getting in the way like I just did.
Good.
If you didn't catch it, go ahead and pause the video. But yeah, most of these tower segments we're just running back and forth between whoever the quest giver was and the gunsmith or the shipwright or anybody else on the tower, really. Not too much interesting about it, but it is necessary. In the future, I'll be speeding this whole process up so that it doesn't take us so much time.
How can I help?
Shoddy work. Okay, go.
Now, as you can see, I am actually comparing these weapons. They may be to attack less, but sometimes the stat bars are a little bit more favorable on a less attack weapon. So that's more or less what I'm looking at here.
Okay, keep that thing oiled, Guardian.
Although I don't think I actually use it in the video. Doesn't matter. Still a good idea to make sure you're using the best weapons for your playstyle.
Listen to this, from an old warlock, Osiris.
Every end crawls from the same pit, rising from the schism to swallow matter, light, and life. It will not be stopped, but here it can be slowed. The shrines of Oryx must be destroyed.
It may be a little sad, but I've run this mission quite a few times, and I can actually recite that opening dialogue.
There is a shrine here, but it's further in the Hellmouth than anywhere we've been. We should destroy it before it's too late.
We should to destroy it, indeed. So yes, back into the Hellmouth we go. Like I said, a lot of the moon is revolving around this big old pit. I mean, it's a fairly interesting pit, to give Bungie some credit, but at the same time, variety is also nice. So, nights are generally nothing to joke about.
Picking up fallen activity. Heavier than normal. Something's got them worked up. I'll stay on it.
But as you can see, shotguns are pretty powerful. I give no fucks about knights.
The fallen. They're invading the Hellmouth?
So as I've mentioned before, scout rifles are your marksman rifles. These things are incredible if you can aim. As you saw for the most part, when I was hitting headshots, this thing will take out enemies in one hit, which is pretty great. It actually removes my need for a sniper rifle. And if needed, I can run up and just spray it. Well, maybe not spray it, but quick fire. And keep the action moving. Only reason I'm not doing so here is because of that servitor. Those things, they don't like me. And I don't like them. I try to stay as far away from those guys as possible. Especially after you saw what happened to me on Sepix Prime. Of course, these guys aren't nearly as powerful. They're not bosses, but at the same time, it's always best to just hedge your bets and stay safe. Alright, for those of you who've been watching the videos, you may recognize this room. We've been here before, and we'll be here again. This is the room with that big old chain that may or may not have something attached to the other end. Wizards are dicks. So let's ignore them, shall we? I mean, I guess anything that can dodge 2 rocket shots
If I translated these
should be
fallen
allowed to
comms
live,
correctly,
right?
One of their barons is here. They don't crawl out of their skiffs too often. Sounds like an opportunity.
So that wasn't as effective as it could have been, but it worked well enough, I guess.
Got him. That's one less baron to worry about. Let's find the shrine. These tunnels go on for miles. We'll never explore them all.
That's probably nothing, right? Right.
I don't even want to know what they're keeping down there.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So this is further in the Hellmouth than we've been before, so just gonna take a nice leisurely stroll around. Wizards. Actually, I'm incorrect. This isn't further. Ha! I'm already forgetting what we've done. Signs that we're taking a little too long between updates, huh? We will, however, be taking a different direction than we did before. So I don't believe you do any extra damage from meleeing an enemy from behind. Although I could be wrong, because I did just one-shot the one from behind, and then turn around and smack the other one from the face, and didn't kill him right away. Who knows? Something for exploration.
Just as crazy as we are.
So here is where the mission actually takes place, as noted by the Darkness Zone. Technically, we could have run through the entire first area, but Bungie likes to do this thing in a couple of missions here and there where they give you side objectives to complete first before you can actually move on. In this case, it was killing the Baron. Sometimes I overestimate how far my lunge will go. And it makes me look like a damn fool. I swear I've played this game before, though. I swear. And finally getting revenge on those goddamned wizards. Feels so good. So I didn't take a look at that tunnel, but that's a really nice tunnel.
There's the shrine. Find a way through.
I've seen it enough times to where I just kind of disregard it now. But it's a kind of nice touch. It actually lights the way for you if you're not sure, if you're not paying attention to your rangefinder there. It'll actually have a tracking light that runs the length of the hallway and the way you're supposed to go. So that's pretty cool. Now, we've seen ogres before. In fact, there was one as a mini-boss in the last update, if I'm not mistaken. Just don't stay in front of them too long. Or at least not in their line of fire. That I-beam they do is especially effective at killing you. And it tracks better than most of the projectiles from everyone else. So they are, in fact, quite dangerous. So as I said, I've played this mission quite a few times. I knew exactly where these guys were going to be, but I was a little early on that one. Whoops. And here we are. So we've seen this animation of theirs before, back when we raided the World's Grave. But yes, they are in fact praising their weapons. I'm not really sure. I don't quite get it. I don't think it's ever explained in the lore, in the grimoire or anything. But you know. Don't know how that guy got so far away.
I'll look for a weakness.
Alright, okay. So, as I mentioned, I've been keeping this off screen for the most part. Mostly to keep the flow of videos, but here we have a bit of a downtime. And I figured I'd give you a quick glance at what we've got. Also, I'm using this opportunity to go ahead and swap out weaponry. And note that hand cannon. And note how big of a mistake it becomes. So I just upgraded that chest piece to carry more ammo for pulse rifles. I don't use pulse rifles, and we are not using that chest anyway. But some weird part of me just feels like having all nodes filled whenever I can. So we grabbed the upgrade. Good for us. Eagle-eyed viewers may have already noticed the problem with this hand cannon. If you haven't, just wait a couple more moments.
Let's just hope we don't get sucked into some trans-dimensional vortex.
That's right. 3 rounds in the magazine. That's a part of the biggest problem about hand cannons, is the limited ammo capacity. In fact, the best example I can think of was before it got patched, there was an exotic an exotic hand cannon that had a lot of the same problem. I can't remember how many rounds it had originally. I think it was 6 or 7, maybe even less. But its name was Thorn, and it was a really good hand cannon, except for the one glaring flaw that it had nothing going for it in the magazine. Then they patched it, and now it's completely overpowered. And everyone uses it in the Crucible. And it kills you in 2 shots. So yeah, we'll be seeing that later. I actually do have a Thorn that I was using for quite a long time in the first year of the game. Of course, it's the patched one, so every Thorn that was available got patched up to the new one. So that was kind of nice of Bungie. Anyway, yeah. With 3 rounds in the magazine of our hand cannon here, this fight becomes a hell of a lot more hectic than it needs to be. And since I'm not using a sniper rifle anymore, my preferred strategy for killing this boss, who, by the way, can kill you quite quickly, is completely out. Generally, I like to just sit next to the shrine there and plug away at him. Usually takes about 5 shots. But, hey, now you get Ring Around the Rosie. With wizards. And a boss. And, you know, I never actually noticed that while I was recording, but he did just teleport. He doesn't do that. That's not something he does. Also, that is his instant kill attack, by the way, if you haven't noticed. You stand too close to that, you die.
It's weakened. Destroy it.
So yeah. And Ugg is not a cool dude. We will look directly at all explosions. Ugg is a man's
Severed
man.
their connection. The shrine, it was communing with something out there. Their god or king. Well, not anymore. Whatever it is, it's still out there.
Keep this mission in mind. This may foreshadow something later. Alright, so that's another mission down. So join me next time. Grey Fox should be back with us. And yeah, I believe our next mission is actually the strike. Good times, good times.